Mexico. It's a country that grabs you by the senses and doesn't let go. The moment you step foot on its soil, you're hit with a kaleidoscope of colors, smells, and sounds. From the bustling streets of Mexico City to the quiet villages of Oaxaca, every corner tells a story. Maybe it's the way the sun sets over ancient pyramids, or how the aroma of street tacos mingles with the scent of marigolds during Day of the Dead. It could be the infectious rhythm of mariachi bands, or the warmth of the people who call this land home. What strikes me most about Mexico is its ability to hold on to tradition while embracing the future. You'll see grandmothers teaching age-old recipes to kids with smartphones. So, grab a cold horchata, settle in, and let's explore the heart and soul of Mexico together. To understand Mexico, you've got to dig deep. We're talking thousands of years into the past. The traditions you see today didn't just pop up overnight. They're the result of centuries of blending, mixing, and evolving. Let's start with the big players: the Olmecs, Mayans, and Aztecs. These ancient civilizations laid the groundwork for much of what we see in modern Mexican culture. The Olmecs, often called the mother culture of Mesoamerica, gave us the first glimpses of organized society in the region. They were followed by the Mayans, whose incredible mathematical and astronomical knowledge still baffles scientists today. Then came the Aztecs, who built a mighty empire centered around what is now Mexico City. Their influence is still felt strongly in modern Mexican culture, from language to food. When the Spanish arrived in the 16th century, they added another layer to this cultural cake. The result? A rich tapestry of traditions that blend indigenous, European, and even African influences. This fusion isn't just history, it's alive and breathing in the streets, homes, and hearts of Mexico today. Let's talk about Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead. This isn't Mexico's version of Halloween. It's a celebration that laughs in the face of death. Cemeteries lit with thousands of candles, graves adorned with marigolds and favorite foods. Skeletal figures dance, faces painted intricately. The air smells of copal incense and pan de muerto. It's a deeply personal time for families. They create ofrendas with photos, foods, and mementos. It's about facing death with love and laughter. In Mexico, the past is always celebrated and honored. If there's one thing Mexicans know how to do, it's throw a party. Mexican fiestas are full-blown, no-holds-barred celebrations that can last for days. They're a riot of color, music, food, and tradition. Each region, each town, has its own unique festivals, but they all share that unmistakable Mexican zest for life. Take the Guelaguetza in Oaxaca, for example. It's a celebration of indigenous cultures that turns the city into a living, breathing museum of traditional dance and music. Performers from 16 ethnic groups come together, each showcasing their unique costumes and dances. Or how about the Feria de San Marcos in Aguascalientes? It's one of the oldest and largest fairs in Mexico. A month-long extravaganza of bullfights, concerts, rodeos, and enough food and drink to make your head spin. But it's not just the big, flashy festivals that capture the Mexican spirit. Even small-town fiestas are a sight to behold. These celebrations are more than just parties. They're a way of strengthening community bonds, of passing down traditions from one generation to the next. The art of Mexico. From Frida to folk art. When it comes to art, Mexico doesn't mess around. This is a country that bleeds creativity, where art isn't just something you hang on a wall, it's a way of life. From the monumental murals of Diego Rivera to the surreal visions of Frida Kahlo, Mexican art has left an indelible mark on the world stage. But it's not just about the big names. Art in Mexico is everywhere, from the streets to the smallest villages. Frida Kahlo, you know her, the unibrowed icon of Mexican art. Her paintings are like visual diaries, raw and unflinching explorations of pain, passion, and identity. Then there's Diego Rivera, whose massive murals tell the story of Mexico's history and struggles. But Mexican art goes far beyond canvas and paint. Take a stroll through any market and you'll see the incredible diversity of Mexican folk art. In Mexico, art isn't just for museums. It's a living, breathing part of everyday life. A constant reminder of the country's rich cultural heritage and its endless capacity for creativity. Dancing through history. Traditional Mexican performances. If you want to understand the soul of Mexico, you've got to see it dance. Mexican traditional dances are like history books come to life. Each step and twirl telling a story of conquest, resistance, and celebration. Let's start with the Jarabe Tapatio, often called the Mexican hat dance. It's practically the national dance of Mexico, a flirtatious courtship ritual set to mariachi music. The woman, dressed in a colorful China poblana outfit, dances around a sombrero, placed on the ground by her male partner. It's a dance that originated as a form of rebellion against Spanish colonial rule, a way for Mexicans to assert their cultural identity. Then, there's the Danza del Venado, or deer dance, from the Yaqui and Mayo people of Sonora. This isn't just a dance, it's a ritual, a prayer, a connection to ancient traditions. Dancers take on the roles of hunters and a deer, mimicking the movements of the hunt. But these are just two examples from a vast repertoire. Watching these performances, you're not just seeing a show, you're witnessing the heartbeat of Mexican culture. Flavors of Mexico. A culinary journey. Let's talk about something close to my heart. Food. Mexican cuisine is an art form, a history lesson, and a fiesta for your taste buds. From street tacos to complex moles, the flavors of Mexico tell a unique story. Corn, beans, and chili peppers form the holy trinity of Mexican cuisine. Take mole, for instance. This sauce blends pre-Hispanic elements with Old World additions. Street food in Mexico is a world unto itself. There's nothing like biting into a taco al pastor. Each bite tells a story, each flavor a testament to Mexican culture. The heartbeat of Mexico. Music and mariachi. If the soul of Mexico is in its food, then its heartbeat is surely in its music. And when you think of Mexican music, chances are the first thing that comes to mind is mariachi. Those trumpets, those violins, those impeccably dressed musicians belting out songs of love and heartbreak. It's an iconic image of Mexico. But mariachi is just one note in the rich symphony of Mexican musical traditions. Let's start with mariachi though, because it really is something special. Originating in the state of Jalisco, mariachi music has become a symbol of Mexican culture worldwide. A full mariachi band includes violins, trumpets, guitars, and a guitarron, a large acoustic bass. The musicians, dressed in their charro outfits with silver buttons down the sides, are as much a visual spectacle as an auditory one. And the music, oh the music. From the mournful strains of Cielito Lindo to the rousing chorus of El Rey. Mariachi songs are like little telenovelas, packed with drama and emotion. What I love about Mexican music is how it's woven into the fabric of everyday life. It's the sound of history, of celebration, of life itself. Invitation to explore. As we come to the end of our whirlwind tour through Mexican culture, I'm left with a feeling I often get when I visit this incredible country, a sense of awe at the depth and richness of its traditions, and an overwhelming desire to dive in deeper. We've only scratched the surface here, folks. Mexico is like one of those Russian nesting dolls. Every time you think you've got it figured out, you discover there's another layer waiting to be explored. From the ancient pyramids of Teotihuacan to the modern art scene of Mexico City. From the beaches of Tulum to the mountains of Copper Canyon, Mexico is a country of endless diversity and surprise. Its culture isn't something static, preserved behind museum glass. It's alive, evolving, a constant dialogue between past and present, tradition and innovation. Let us know in the comments below about one of your wildest experiences in Mexico. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more. See you in our next adventure.